Hello everyone.
Welcome back to our channel.
We'd be thrilled if you hit the like
Subscribe
and comment.
and share with your friends. Today we're going to bring you back to some of our shore adventures on our recent DIY World cruise.
We're retired, it's time to cruise. Where will we go next? What will we see? What exciting adventures will we choose?
This is about our stop in San Francisco.
Yes, turned out to be a little bit different than we expected.
That's for sure. We were supposed to get in around noon.
But then we made a video earlier about what we were recommending for excursions, and we had already been told that we would be getting there at 2 p.m.
And then, as we're sailing down the ocean, we found out it was like 4:30 that we were supposed to arrive.
So it was a lot later and a lot shorter stop than we expected. It was still daylight when we got to the port of San Francisco, and it had fortunately stopped raining by that time. One thing about the port of San Francisco is they have lousy internet. We were uploading a video and it took us more than 2 hours to upload the video. So even though we arrived in daylight, ample time to get out and see stuff, by the time the video uploaded, it was pitch dark.
We got to see San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf all lit up at night.
It was a bit rainy and foggy when we were sailing towards San Francisco.
Very wet and rainy and foggy outdoors today. This is the end of day 2 of our sea days. We'll be in San Francisco at about 4:30, and this is what it's been like all day.
It's a little calmer. I don't know if you can hear me.
But very, very much a foggy day.
Much calmer, but pretty wet still. I'd say we have more fog today than we had the mist yesterday. We've got some footage of us actually sailing right underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
Or at least the half of the bridge that we could see.
For sure. As you can see, there's a lot of people out at the rails to watch our crossing underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not raining anymore and you can see the skyline clearly. Now we're getting closer to actually going right underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. The top is still obscured by fog, but we can see it pretty clearly. It's a very exciting thing to experience going right underneath that Golden Gate Bridge. And here we can see how close it seems the top of our ship is to going underneath that bridge deck. It is amazing that we can fit underneath with our big ship, the Norwegian Encore. Here we go. Our next anticipated view from the Norwegian Encore is to go to the island of Alcatraz. There it is in the distance. I'll zoom in a little bit to give you a bit of a closer view. It took a long time to sail towards that island, but it was such an interesting experience. It was a lot of fun seeing all of the private watercraft around the ship while we were sailing between the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz.
It sure was. There was a lot of boats come to check us out.
There was even a speedboat that, to be honest, that's the closest I've ever seen a private vessel sailing to the cruise ship. And that was just before we got to Alcatraz. Well,
they didn't drop anybody off at Alcatraz. We just sailed right on by. We got off the ship and walked around, and you'll see footage of the San Francisco area all at night with the lights on.
well, we got to San Francisco really late, so this is what we see. There's Coit Tower. And this tower with the moving light show is called Salesforce Tower. There's the bow of the Encore. We're going to walk around and give you a better look of the Norwegian Encore at night. Here we go. This is our beautiful NCL Encore in San Francisco at night. This is a gorgeous view of the NCL Encore, all lit up at night. You can see the double-decker big bus, which is one of the hop-on, hop-off buses that we talked about on our other video.
Yeah, I think that was the very last hop-on, hop-off bus returning to the pier when we were walking back to the ship.
You'll see there's a few people wandering around just like us, but really everything is closed and the streets are fairly empty. Here's a bit of the show from the Salesforce Tower. Earlier it was showing an American flag waving, but it was hard to see because it was obscured by the mist. I'm not sure what we even show in this video. They had some animals running across, maybe a whale swimming, but it was really cool, and that's something that you wouldn't have gotten to see at all if you were here in the daylight. So I guess there are benefits to being in San Francisco at night. Well, now we know we've really arrived. This is the display of flags flying over Pier 39 in San Francisco. One of the next most iconic views was that of the Fisherman's Wharf sign in San Francisco. You can see everything is pretty much closed. There's hardly any vehicles on the streets, hardly any people walking along. But it was still a really interesting experience to be at Fisherman's Wharf at night. Now here we are actually in Pier 39. You can see the musical staircase in front of us. We didn't try it out, but there it was. And here are some of the shops that we saw. Of course, they were all closed, but still very interesting. It was so neat. The one shop that is just coming into view was for left-handed people only. Darren's brother is left-handed, so it was something that we thought we could maybe talk about with him when we got home. As we had mentioned in our other video, a lot of the venues closed down at 5 o'clock in the evening, and so it was a little surprising to me, but maybe not for San Francisco, that the Humble Sea Brewing Company was closed when we passed by.
We did get to see a double-decker carousel that was all sea creatures, and that was quite the treat to see it. That was quite the treat to see that at night and all lit up.
It's just too bad everything was closed by the time we got to see it. I can only imagine what it would be like with the carousel running with its music playing. There were other carnival type rides there. This looks like a gravity ride, and just a lot of other interesting venues. I certainly didn't expect to see the statues at the Aquarium of the Sea.
Yeah, that was really neat. All of those different colored sea lions all set up out there. It does show in the video. It's a little dark, but it definitely shows.
In Edmonton, which is the city closest to us, we have painted cows. Sorry, I misspoke. It's Aquarium of the Bay, and we couldn't believe how many of those painted sea lions there were. There was even a mural on the wall of a life-sized whale. Kinda cool, I thought. There's a Hard Rock Cafe and more statues. It was really neat seeing this in the dark. The sea lion statues weren't the only statues on our walk along Fisherman's Wharf. There was one of a dancing crab and another of kissing sea lions, and that's all in front of a fairly well-known restaurant, although I can't name it right now, on Pier 39. We continued our walk a little bit further, and eventually we found the San Francisco Wheel. It's beautiful at night. Honestly, I don't know what the building is that's beside it. It's so brightly lit. There it is, a beautiful arch. And I can't find any information on what that actually is. But we appreciated our view of the wheel. If we had walked about 10 minutes further, we would have gotten to Lombard Street, but we didn't make it. There's a view of one of the streetcars on its way, probably towards Lombard Street. But that was the end of our trip. We had to turn around and go back to the ship so that we were on time before it sailed. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video of San Francisco at night.
Remember, like,
subscribe,
comment,
and share with your friends.
Bye now.
It's time to cruise. Where will we go next? What will we see? What exciting adventures will we choose? We'll make new friends and make some plans. We'll post videos as we visit new lands. We love you to join us as we sail around in floating hotels of every brand. We're retired and it's time to cruise. Come and join us or watch our YouTube